Hello and welcome back to Capping Corner. We are going to talk about the Swale Stakes. It's on Saturday at Gulf Street Park. It's only 7 furlongs, so there may or may not be Derby horses in this race. Time will tell. I just thought it would make more sense to cover this race because there's probably not going to be any value in the Holy Bull Stakes with Fierceness, the likely favorite, and the likely winner. But I'm interested in the male horse, Ben Tornado, who is 445, so he's pretty consistent. His lone loss came last time on December 2. On this course, he went a mile and 1/16th, so in that race, he made his two-turn debut in a route race. And you can see here from the running line, he was third the whole way, and he lost by 1 length at the end while still running third. Now, he made a move on the turn, but he just couldn't finish off the race. And that's a sign that he probably wants a shorter distance. When a sprinter tries a route race and he makes a menacing move and starts to hang, that's pretty much a sign that he needs to cut back. But we're going to watch it on video just to see if it points out anything that we didn't see on paper. You can see for a mile 116, they're going pretty quick, 23:43, 46:69. Those are fairly quick numbers for a mile 116th race. And Beternado is making his move right here on the outside, so he's moving right into that quick pace. Seminole Chief is on the lead. Now, I would think that Beternado is going to sweep by Seminole Chief right here, but he doesn't do it. And Seminole Chief fights back, and even Mattingly is starting to fight back on the inside. Seminole Chief starts to create some separation from Beternado, and then that outside horse passes Beternado at the end to grab second. And like I said, whenever a sprinter stretches out to a route distance and can't handle the new distance, it's usually a case of where they're making a move on the far turn and they just flat it out in the lane. Beternado did not fade away from the picture. He stayed in the picture, but he just couldn't finish it off. I just think he wants to sprint. He does have a win over this course at this distance on October 21. We're going to look at the race really quick. Beternado is opening up on Hurricane Nelson. He must be like 4 or 5 lengths ahead of Hurricane Nelson at this point. And you can see Mattingly is in this race as well. He's coming on the inside to fight for second. And they sort of closed the gap a little bit on Beternado towards the finish line, but I just think Beternado had the race wrapped up, so maybe the jockey didn't go too hard on him towards the finish line. He knew that the race was won, so he just let those other two horses come near him. I think it's fine. He still won by 2 3/4 legs, so it was almost 3 legs. Just the fact that he has a win over this track at the same distance as the Swale is a good sign for me as a bettor, because you want to know that the horse can handle the conditions of the race, whether it's the track surface or the distance, or ideally both, and Beternado has both. So Beternado has never really been a good price, but since he's moving up into graded stakes company in the Swell Stakes, he might offer a good price. No, this is not graded stakes company, but it's still a stakes race open to all 3-year-olds. And since he's been running against Florida breds, bettors might ignore him here. Now, we're going to look at a couple of more. We're going to look at 2 more horses in this race. Let's take a look at Risk It, who also faded in a route race. Risk It initially showed speed in the Gunrunner Stakes at Fairgrounds before fading to 5th by 15 lengths. And he also showed some speed in the Kentucky Jockey Club before fading to 4th by 8 3/4 lengths. So on paper, it does seem like this horse doesn't want to route. And you can see that his best races came at 1 mile and 6 furlongs. He broke his maiden at 6 furlongs. And his 1 turn mile effort wasn't that bad either. He was second in the Iroquois. So let's take a look at the Gunrunner Stakes and see if we see anything. They were going pretty quick in the Gunrunner Stakes. I've talked about this race before. Track Phantom's on the lead. You can see Next Level's on the inside. They went 23:61 for the opening quarter, 46:93 for the half mile. Those are pretty fast numbers. You can see Risk It started to back up with that other horse on the rail. And maybe that other horse kind of interfered with him a little bit, but he never gets back into the race. And you can see here Risket is way back there on the inside, and he's just gonna fade away from the picture. He doesn't have anything left. He's empty. We're gonna look at that again just to see if we missed something. Like I said, they're going pretty quick for a mile 1/16th, especially at fairgrounds. Risket was right there with the leaders, but Next Level sort of backs into him, but he has room now. Once he has room again, he doesn't start up again. He just lets those other two horses, or that horse right there, he lets that horse pass him, and he never really gets back into it. Track Phantom has the lead. Sneed is right there. Nash, Risket, who attracted a lot of money in this race, just didn't have it, at least at the distance. Risket also might improve, cutting back to 7 furlongs. Like I said, his maiden win came at 6 furlongs, and he was second in a one-turn mile, but I think he'll be pretty popular because Steve Asmussen trains him. I think he could win. He's a contender. He does belong in multi-race wager tickets, but he's not the only possible winner in this race. Legalize broke his maiden at 7 furlongs at Churchill Downs, and then he won the Sugar Bowl Stakes at Fairgrounds by 2 3/4 lengths. And he broke his maiden at the distance of this race at Churchill Downs. He doesn't have experience at Gulfstream, but you have to take him seriously off the Sugar Bowl effort. He could set the pace. He could also be a stalker. He's just a good horse. He might be the favorite, but I don't think he's invincible either. I think if you're going to bet a horse with value in this race, it's going to be the real horse. I'm not saying not to use Legalize. I'm not saying not to use Risk It either, but Betronado, to me, looks like he might be the horse that's going to get ignored. Betronado's my top choice. Those are my 3 horses for the Swale Stakes at Gulfstream Park, and I'll see you guys later.